all over the country. If you found us, you have discovered the very tip of the spear when it comes to promoting liberty worldwide. And we have our motto here, 2 + 2 = 4, not 5 like Obama says. That's because we're proudly conspiracy theorists. We question well-known certified pathological criminal liars. We don't believe pathological known certified criminal liars. We are bad people. All right, I want to get to a plethora of special reports and a bunch of other news that I've mentioned but haven't dug into yet. But finishing up with Herr Buffett, who uses taxpayer money like a buffet for his giant criminal operations that he runs worldwide. So we've got this article out of Fox News talking about how he is the biggest pusher and funder of abortionists after Bill and Melinda Gates. The so-called Oracle of Omaha has donated more than $1.2 billion to abortion organizations in just the last 12 years. That's equal to the cost of roughly 2.7 million first trimester abortions. More than twice the number of abortions that occur in an entire year. Yeah, in the last 12 years, he's funded more than 2 years of the abortions. Unlike Gosnell, however, everything Buffett has done has been entirely legal. But Buffett does share something else in common with the abortionists. Both their stories have been largely unreported. Wow, what a powerful article by Fox News, by Dan Gaynor. We ought to try to get Dan Gaynor on, because it goes on to show what an abortionist kingpin Warren Buffett is. So people are going to jail for killing babies out of the womb. What about him funding this undoubtedly going on out of the millions of abortions that this man has funded out of the 53 million that have happened since Roe v. Wade? And by the way, if you watch my film Endgame, Warren Buffett is no doubt in an intelligence agency from a very young age. He has no doubt been working with Bill Gates' father, who was in Army intelligence, and no doubt helped set up the management teams through different intelligence agencies to have IBM covertly fund a new doppelganger known as Microsoft. I mean, I've done the research on this, okay? And these companies fight with each other at times. They compete with each other at certain levels. But back in the 70s, into the 80s, still antitrust laws were enforced in this country. And IBM could not start, have the sell the computers and have the software. So they basically gave that, if you research it, and gave the monopoly to Bill Gates. It's totally fake. And then you understand that Watson, Thomas Watson, and then his sons and the rest of them literally donated almost the full wealth of the IBM dynasty to, well, Adolf Hitler until Watson died. Until World War II ended, but he went on for a while before he died. And that's why the computers are integrated to control and dominate, because from the beginning, it's been about carrying out eugenics. This is a eugenics cult. You know the tattoos that were on the concentration camp people's arms of how many calories to give them, how long they should be worked, should they be killed? Those were put into the Hollerith race mixing machines that were first used in the 20s in New York City under Margaret Sanger's directives. And then they would do a Hollerith test on poor white kids, black kids, it didn't matter. And then they would decide and say, well, the machine said so, whether you were going to be sterilized. They have even PBS documentaries on this. If you made under a B+ in public school and came from a single-parent family, they would then come to your house and grab you and take you away and sterilize you, male or female. That then got deployed into Germany to the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute and the Rockefeller Family Institute and Foundation. I mean, this is all best-selling, Pulitzer Prize-winning books on the subject. This is on record. All came out during Nuremberg, but nobody over here got in trouble. And then you go, well, wait a minute. Why then, if they wanted to sterilize people that had single parents, and they know single parents statistically causes more crime and problems, Why did they then, by the 60s, decide to fund single parents? Well, they shifted the plan. They said, no, 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 we're not going to have eugenics where we actually try to get rid of what we see as non-productive people, which I'm not even defending that, but you can see the argument. We're going to go after the smartest people and put social engineering on them not to have kids and cultural engineering, and we're going to go in and pay the poorest people to not be productive and just literally have them be our minions, and then we'll recruit from them our enforcers, our bureaucrats, our governing class in the next phase. Then we'll set up a technocracy in the future when that technology's been developed, and then we'll just exterminate everyone once our technocracy's in place with the computers and robots. And we're now entering that final phase of a total blueprinted plan. And that's what you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is all on record in my film, Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement, almost 3 hours long. It's really like 3 films. And get it on DVD at InfoWarsStore.com. Watch it in high def at PrisonPlanet.tv or see it medium res on YouTube. It's only got like 4 million views on YouTube or 4.5 million views on one. If you had it all up before it got taken off Google Video and they got rid of that, it had about 8 million views on there. But, I mean, this film's only been seen 14, 15 million times that I know of on the big platforms, and it should be seen more. I mean, production-wise, it's good production, but it's scholarly, but also somewhat riveting and captivating to see reality. And it tells you and breaks down and proves why the globalists are doing what they're doing and what their plan is. I mean, it's just look, there's a public plan. The information is out there. People ignore it at their peril. I want to get into some other news here and then play this incredible audio and video out of Houston of the police SWAT teaming just a family birthday party. Get together. Because they felt threatened by a group of people. But before we go any further, I cannot stress to you the fact that I'm under more stress than I've ever been under, and that I'm performing better under that stress than I've ever done. And it's undoubtedly, I mean, I'll tell the story now. This is so important. I ran 6 miles every other day. I lifted weights every other day, and I ate like a pig, and I drank as much beer as I wanted to. For the time I was about 18 to 22. Not a lot of beer, but, you know, went out with the buddies, went out two-step and all that on the weekends, and looked like a Mr. Universe or something. Then I got dedicated to the fighting the New World Order, got death threats, got attacked physically, you name it. I decided, hey, I'm not going to be around that long. I might as well just quit working out and just work 18 hours a day. Many days for years, I worked 18 hours a day. Putting out all those films, building my own media organization, everything. And it worked okay the first 2 years or so, but my metabolism slowed down, and I gained 60 pounds. I went up from about 180 pounds to about 240 pounds. Then I gained even more weight and went up to 275, is the biggest I've ever been. 275. I was about 275 about 5-6 years ago. Looked pretty good for 275. I have gotten down to 230 pounds. But here's the thing about 5 years ago. I started working out, swimming 2 miles a day, several days a week. 2 miles, open swims. I began doing 5, 6, 7 mile hikes, up hills, cliffs. I began doing all this stuff, but didn't really change my diet as much as I should, got more organic, and didn't lose but about 10 pounds. Then I did some of the InfoWarsHealth.com longevity stuff, lost another 25 pounds or so. But when I got the Super Male Vitality developed by Dr. Group and the Fluoride Shield in the last 10 months, I've lost another 20 pounds, and I have more energy, and I can stay up late, I can do more, and it really is a Super Male Vitality and the proprietary nascent iodine. And you've heard Shaden Steiner's rave reviews. You've heard people that have tried it, what's happened. You can see the YouTube videos out there where people have done their testimonies for super male vitality and for the nascent iodine. And it really is just amazing how it blocks the estrogen mimickers and allows your glands to produce the hormones you need. And I obviously will never get back to, and I've had setbacks. You know, I got that pneumonia that's killed so many people this winter, and that got me set back a little bit. And then I tore my Achilles. Now the doctor says about 50%, and they're surprised I'm able to walk and say that it is growing back partially. I did that mountain climbing in Big Bend about 6 weeks ago. Was more than bouldering, but the point is, and stepped in a big hole up on the top of a plateau. But the point is despite all of that, it's been the Super Male Vitality and the Survival Shield proprietary nascent iodine. In fact, let me just take it right now. I keep forgetting to take my midday dose. It is so essential that you check out the products and try them, because if you will just try them, your bare minimum supporting the broadcast and free speech and the tip of the spear.